First things first, let's talk deadlines. If you have to file separate taxes for your business, meaning you have a partnership, which is a 1065, or an S Corp, which is an 1120S, then the deadline to file those taxes is March 15th. For individual taxes, that's a 1040, the deadline is April 15th. This is where some people can get a little confused. What if I have a small business? Do I have to file something by March 15th? The answer is it depends. I'd need a little more information. Again, only partnerships and S Corps need to file by March 15th, but maybe you're not sure if you have one of those. So, my first question would be, do you have an EIN associated with the business? If not, all your business profit and expenses will just go on your individual return, and then you just file by April 15th. If you have an EIN, then we can just check your IRS letter, and then they'll tell you what form they expect you to file, whether that's a partnership, S Corp, or individual return. A common misconception with extensions is that it extends the deadline to file and the deadline to pay. That unfortunately is not true. Filing an extension only extends the filing deadline, not when you have to pay. Anything you owe the IRS for that tax year is due by March or April 15th. Failure to pay will result in penalties and interest, and we'll get into that later. So let's talk about payment plans. Maybe you figured out how much you need to pay, and it's more than you can pay by March or April 15th. The IRS has two types of payment plans. They have short-term and long-term. Short-term will have you pay it off within 180 days, and there are no setup fees. To qualify for the short-term plan, you need to owe less than $100,000 in combined tax, penalties, and interest. A long-term plan can be set up for 72 months and comes with setup fees that vary based on how you apply, whether online, over the phone, or in person, and the payment method you use. You qualify for the long-term plan if you owe less than $50,000 in combined tax, penalties, and interest. Unfortunately, you will still accrue interest and penalties even with an extension and or payment plan. Like I said, the extension does not extend your payment deadline, only your filing deadline. Here's the difference an extension can make in what you owe. The failure to file penalty is wiped, and the failure to pay penalty is reduced from 0.5% to 0.25% per month. On top of that, we can work with the IRS on your behalf to reduce or remove any penalties you might receive. I know that was a lot, but if you have any questions or would like help filing an extension, please reach out to us. You can find any of our locations at pac.tax.